everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, starseed astrologer and spiritual messenger from sacredsoulempowerment.com. Here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, July 30th through Sunday, August 5th, 2018. For this week's weekly reading, we'll be using the Power Angel Tarot deck by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Archangel Divination deck, which is also by Doreen Virtue. So before we look at your stones of choice, I just want to remind everybody that I'm now on Instagram, so you can find me on both Facebook and Instagram under Colleen Lemma, or you can also find me on my Facebook page, Sacred Soul Empowerment. I do both astrological and empowering and educational posts on those venues. So let's take a look at your stones of choice. Your first stone of choice is this beautiful amethyst cluster. Now the amethyst cluster, and because it's a cluster, it's going to be really good for humanitarian work. So this is about getting together with groups of like-minded people or working together with other people that have a common cause or a common goal to assist humanity in some way. The amethyst is also great for transmuting lower vibrational energies into a higher vibrational state of unconditional love and light and compassion and healing. That's that violet flame energy that you have here with the amethyst. Amethyst is also great for assisting you in sleeping at night. It helps you to remember your dreams. It helps to activate your dreams, and it also helps with emotional healing. So again, this is your amethyst cluster. Your second stone of choice, this is window quartz, and you can see that it's almost a rounded, almost an oval, egg-shaped kind of stone, and most of the sides are kind of a cloudy color, but right here we have a window, and that's why it's called window quartz. The window quartz is a powerful teacher crystal. This crystal also helps you to accept the truth about yourself, or what I like to call self-truth. And this can be accepting the truth regarding certain karmic patterns that you have in this lifetime, but this can also be about accepting your truth about your destiny path, your life path, who you are here to be out in the world. The window quartz also is used to read the aura. So if you're wanting to read your own aura, or if you're a healer and you want to read the aura of someone else, this actually assists with that, as well as it's used for scrying or seeing, and that's because of the window here. It's almost like a crystal ball where you can look into, if you're clairvoyant, look into the window of the window quartz to scry or see. All right, your last stone of choice is this beautiful pink calcite. Now, you can almost tell right off the bat that it's a very gentle and nurturing energy. The pink calcite helps to soothe anxiety or tension. It also helps to remove fears, and it helps to clear the emotional body of lower vibrational emotions or feelings, as well as clearing the emotional body of stagnant energies. So if you've been in a pattern for a long time, or you've been trying to heal from perhaps a relationship challenge for a long time, this can help to move things through the emotional body. The calcite, this pink calcite, is also really wonderful for connecting to the state of or the energy of divine love or universal love. So again, your stones of choice, we have the amethyst cluster, we have the window quartz, and we have the pink calcite. So let's start with the astrology for the week. Now, if you recall, last week's weekly reading, we had our full moon lunar eclipse. It was on Friday the 27th. It was in the sign of Aquarius at 4 degrees. It connected with Mars, which is also at 5 degrees of Aquarius, and the south node, which is at 5 degrees of Aquarius. So this was quite powerful because Mars is an activator. He's the spiritual warrior. He is about forward movement and energy. And so, that along with that south node energy kind of brings in a karmic activation regarding that eclipse. Now, full moons are always about releasing. After the full moon comes to its highest intensity. Then we have the waning moon period, and that's where we're releasing and letting go. Now, of course, we know full moons are full of intense energy anyway. As that full moon is growing, the moon rules people's emotions, so that can, expand people's feelings and reactions, emotional reactions to certain circumstances or situations or within relationships. So again, the idea of having the eclipse energy is making that full moon more intense. So not only is it an eclipse energy which makes it more intense, but it also has that Mars activation energy with it, which is just right around the same degree of the eclipse. And then the South Node brings in the idea of past circumstances, past relationships, past karmic patterns, past life situations as well. That's what the South Node rules. It rules the past. So that was a very powerful lunar eclipse. And now, again, I'm bringing that up because now we have Mars, the spiritual warrior, this week, and it's going to be challenging Uranus. So we're still coming off of that intense energy of the eclipse, which, by the way, is going to last for several weeks. As an eclipse energy lasts for a really long time. Like a new moon will last, for 2 weeks until the full moon, and full moon will last for 2 weeks until the next new moon. But because we're in the middle of eclipse season, these energies are being heightened, and things are changing, and things are redirecting, and things are ending, and things are beginning during this time period. So, we have one more new moon solar eclipse that will be coming up in August, but it will be next week for next week's reading. So make sure you're staying tuned. Again, for several weeks here on after, there's going to be still changes going on in our lives. Now back to Mars challenging Uranus on Wednesday the 1st of August. Again, remember, Mars is an activator energy. It's the planet of energy, action, forward movement. Again, it's like the spiritual warrior planet, depending on where it's at, what sign it's in, because Mars can be a very base energy as well. Operating out of the ego, but at its highest state, it can be that spiritual warrior. It's challenging or squaring Uranus, and Uranus is considered the great awakener. Uranus rules sudden and unexpected changes, redirections, surprises, sometimes shocking information or shocking experiences happen with Uranus. So with Mars being an activator, now it's in the sign of Aquarius, and it's retrograde. So that kind of internalizes the energy in our personal lives to where I feel it's a lot stronger. That's my opinion, is when that planet or any planet is retrograde, it internalizes the energy for personal experience even more so. Mars being in Aquarius, Aquarius is the ruling sign of Uranus. So here we have Uranus and Taurus, but we have Mars in Aquarius, which is Uranus's ruling sign. So this is going to be a powerful activation, and again, especially coming off of that full moon lunar eclipse from last week. So you can expect the unexpected. That's what we always say about Uranus transits or Uranus aspects to other planets, is you can expect the unexpected. And with Mars activating, and with the South Node about the past being involved with that as well, you should pay attention to circumstances or situations of the past coming back into light or repeating themselves, themes from the past, karmic challenges from the past, perhaps relationships even from the past can make an appearance. Now, if it's not anything to do with the past, then remember too, Mars is activating some sort of change or redirection or surprise, or something, again, like the lightning bolt coming down that brings kind of a, that little bit of a aha moment, or that little bit of a surprise, shocking, unique, independent, freedom-oriented kind of energy. And that's another key word here for this Mars square Uranus too, is freedom, because Uranus is all about freedom, and Mars is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is about freedom. So we might be freeing ourselves, whether consciously or subconsciously, from some sort of situation or circumstance in our lives. We're being redirected to kind of break free of something. Now, the only other thing really happening is on Friday the 3rd, the moon is going to be in Taurus, and it's activating that Mars Uranus square. You know, Mars will just be starting to pull away from that square to Uranus after Wednesday. But the moon in Taurus will connect with Uranus and then challenge Mars, and so it's still activating that energy. And also, by the way, I want to say that it's not just on Wednesday, the 1st of August, that we're feeling Mars challenging Uranus. We're going to feel that, you know, for the whole week, I want to say, the couple days before, and because the moon is activating that particular aspect on Friday, we can expect that pretty much for this whole entire week there might be something that is, you know, again, freeing us from something, redirecting our path in some way, something surprising that happens that we didn't see coming. This could be even a chance meeting, meeting a new person, starting all of a sudden unexpectedly a new project or a new business that you never, you may have thought about but maybe really never put that much effort into it. This can be good things as well as challenging things. Just know that it's happening quickly and suddenly. So, this is a time, this is a week to kind of pay attention to what's going on. It is a challenging square, so more than likely it's, again, bringing in something that we didn't expect. And again, ultimately that's not a bad thing, even though how we sometimes perceive a situation or event, sometimes we feel it's very challenging as we're going through it. And then later on in the weeks or months after that, we can look back and say, wow, well, this is why that happened, or, it was definitely divinely guided to happen, or if this didn't happen, then I wouldn't be here now. So ultimately, again, these kind of transits are a good thing. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the messages from our angels and guides and talk about, shocking or unexpected kinds of energies. As I was shuffling the deck, the Power Angel Tarot deck that we're using this week, as I was meditating on the energy of the week and just, calling in our angels and guides and the archangels, the ascended masters, to kind of come through with whatever cards we were going to pull for today, as I was shuffling, cards fell on the floor, and I didn't really realize how many cards fell on the floor when they first fell. But when I picked them up, there was 3 cards, and as a lot of you know that watch my readings, I usually, choose 3 cards for the week. Sometimes there's, an extra card or 2, but usually it's 3. And when I picked up the 3 cards that were on the floor, I asked Spirit, I asked our angels and guides if these were the cards for the week. And they said yes, and so I just kind of put them, in the little holders here, as you see, for the week. So let's go ahead and see what cards jumped out of the deck suddenly and unexpectedly, like that Mars-Uranus energy, and see what the message is. So the first card, okay, we start out with a Major Arcana, and it's Major Arcana number 15. In this deck, it's called Decision. This is with Archangel Jophiel. And the message at the bottom of this card says, release yourself from that which holds you back. Well, if that doesn't describe Mars square Uranus. Release yourself from that which holds you back. A need to detox. Unnecessary worry based on a lack of self-confidence. Okay, so this card, in the traditional tarot, Major Arcana number 15 is the Devil card, and that's not, a card that should be frightening. The Devil card is just about our ego, which is sometimes brings in fears, worries, and anxieties. Now, of course, we operate with an ego. The ego is not a bad thing. Our ego is part of our personality, and it's the personality, how we operate, basically. It's who we are, is through the ego. But we do have a higher self too. It's kind of a balance between the ego and the higher self that makes us human beings. But sometimes the ego gets pulled into lower vibrational emotions or fears or anxieties, and that's what the Devil card or this Decision card is. I like that this is called Decision because it makes it seem less ominous. And here we have the idea that there's a decision that needs to be made, and especially because we at the beginning of July, we went through the first solar eclipse. And then on July 27th, we went through the full moon lunar eclipse. Again, we're in this season of change and redirection, and we may need to be making some decisions about our lives, decisions based on relationships that we're in, decisions about moving forward and what we need to do next. So here I like that we're just looking at this as decisions that need to be made. And here again with the message at the bottom, there's definitely a need to kind of not get too bogged down with some of the emotions that we may be experiencing. Now we should feel our emotions. We have to be aware of our emotions. We can't stuff them or sweep them under the rug. So it's definitely good that you recognize them and say, oh, I'm feeling rather depressed. Why is that? I'm feeling really frustrated right now. Like, I feel almost angry. Why is that? Is there anything that connects to, why I would be feeling this way? Sometimes there is, and sometimes it's blown out of proportion. But sometimes there doesn't seem to be, which either we're empathically picking up on other people's emotions and energies, or again, it might be related to previous lifetime or an old karmic pattern that maybe is in our subconscious that we're not totally aware of. So again, this is about releasing. And how do we do that? Feel them, be aware of the emotions. Call in Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael to assist with clearing and releasing those lower vibrational emotions, thoughts, feelings, belief systems. Archangel Michael can pull the cords and clear those out. Archangel Raphael can surround you with his emerald green healing light and raise the vibration of those energies to a higher vibration of healing and unconditional love and feeling self-compassion and self-worth. So I feel like, again, this is something that we should be doing anyway from that full moon lunar eclipse, is doing regular healing work on ourselves, or going to get some healing work done, or doing some meditation, making sure that we're doing some self-care, that we're involving ourselves in nurturing ourselves, caring for ourselves, doing what we need to do to stay balanced through this time of change and redirection. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next card and see what we have here for the second card. Okay, we have the Two of Michael. In the traditional tarot, this is like the Two of Swords. And the message at the bottom says, it will all be better, so it will all be better if you just make a decision. So here we have decision again, okay? Well, the Major Arcana 15 was labeled decision. And now this card says, it will, boy, I have to really look at this, it will all be better if you just make a decision. Over-analyzing a problem, and it says find a compromise. So I'm feeling like maybe in relationships, we need to find compromise with one another. One person might like, one thing, another person likes something else, or maybe we have varying belief systems about a particular matter. It's good to find a compromise. In this card, the Two of Michael, or the Two of Swords, it's often shown with kind of people butting heads. And in this case, you can see the two unicorns kind of locking horns with one another. So sometimes it's being at a stalemate within a situation with another person or with a group. This can also be feeling kind of mentally stuck. We're kind of at a stalemate on the mental realm, which is the Suit of Swords, is about the mental realm, our thinking, our thoughts, our ideas, our belief systems. So we might be kind of stuck in something, and we're needing to make a decision, okay? And there's no wrong decisions, remember that. Sometimes one decision might appear to be a better decision than another, but ultimately any decision is about learning and growth. And so rather than just staying stuck or staying at a stalemate or staying in the same place and not moving, it's better to make some sort of decision and move forward. That's going to be helpful. I feel like there needs to be communication with other people also with this particular card. So I feel like we may have some frustrations building up within relationships. This can be romantic, family, business, friendship relationships. If there's something that we're biting our tongue about or not speaking our truth about, if we're feeling, frustrated about something, it's best right now this week to kind of bring that up. Now, bring it up in a loving, compassionate way. Make sure that you're, in a state of balance and peace before communicating it. But I feel like communication with other people to kind of sort through things, work things out, come to some sort of compromise is in our highest and best interest this week. Okay, so don't hold on to whatever that might be. And then the last card, oh wow, we have another major arcana. This is major arcana number 4, the Emperor, with Archangel Uriel. The message at the bottom says stability and efficiency, taking charge of the situation, ambitious plans. So to me, the Emperor is about building a solid foundation. It's about focus, work, and effort to build something new, to create something solid for yourself to stand upon, metaphorically speaking. It's about organization, if I didn't already say that. So I feel like we're needing to organize our next step forward, organize a plan of what we need to do. This is about taking charge. The Emperor is a leader, okay? But he's a leader who's calm and patient and steadfast. So I feel like we really need to be patient with ourselves and perhaps patient with other people as we're moving towards something, or as we're taking charge of a situation or taking the lead, because again, the Emperor is a leader as well. This is about, to me, based on the astrological energies and the eclipse energies and the changes that are happening, and Mars challenging Uranus this week, that may be redirecting something. Find your sense of stability again. Find your sense of a solid ground again, okay? And maybe you need to go out into nature and stand upon the earth in your bare feet to kind of get a grounded feeling within yourself, again, with all of these ups and downs or changing energies that may be happening for us in this past few weeks and in the next few weeks ahead. But this is definitely about reorganizing, stabilizing, and focusing, putting your efforts towards something. Perhaps the decisions that you're making, you're then needing to put efforts towards something to make something manifest. The Emperor is about manifestation, so we want to make something manifest, our dreams, our goals, projects that we're working on. This is really a time, and we're in Mercury retrograde too, by the way, so this is really a time with Mercury retrograde to redo something, restructure something. Mars is retrograde too, so more of the same, to where this is a great time if we're needing to revamp something, fix something, redirect something in some way. For me, I think of working on my website. This is a time for me to probably work on updating my website, putting in maybe perhaps new wording. That would just be one example. But that is sort of, and I feel like, again, as we're moving throughout the month of August here now and approaching that last new moon solar eclipse, which will be about new beginnings again, this is time to restructure so that you have a solid foundation for whatever that new beginning is. So let's take a look at your message based on your stone of choice this week. So we're going to give the archangels here a little bit of a shuffle, and we call in the archangels, and we ask for whatever message is in the amethyst people's highest and best interest. And this one was calling me. This is Breathe with Archangel Raphael, and here we have that emerald green energy, again, healing, calm, peace, opening up the heart chakra, healing old emotional wounds. The message at the bottom says, take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release old patterns. Now again, remember, we're in the releasing phase now after the lunar eclipse last week. This is a great time to release old patterns, or release circumstances or situations out of your life. This, to me, with that breathe, is that you all might be experiencing some sort of nervous tension or anxieties, or again, perhaps fears, and Archangel Raphael is coming in to assist you and asks you, or lets you know, that one way to do so is to just breathe. And that's almost taken literally. Take some deep breaths, sit down, and do some circular breathing. Or perhaps you need to exercise, because that kind of forces us to do some deeper breathing, or go to yoga or Tai Chi or something of that nature, because all of these things, the breath and the breath work, that helps to bring our body into a state of calm. It helps us to regroup and to rebalance in a state of well-being. So your message is to find that peace within through breathing. All right, and then for those of you that chose the window quartz, this one's calling my attention for window quartz. Counselor with Archangel Azrael. And the message at the bottom, you are a natural counselor and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So I feel like you're being called upon this week to assist other people. Okay, you might need some assistance too, and maybe this is a literal message for you to find a counselor or a life coach or a therapist or even just a good friend or family member who supports you that you can trust, that will help to kind of guide you. But also I feel like you're being called to guide other people. Again, a lot of people are going to be going through some things, some fears, anxieties, redirections in their life, and they may be looking to you for some sort of guidance or advice, or just to be a listening ear for them as they, need to kind of talk about things. Archangel Azrael is sort of the grief counselor angel. So I feel like this relates to when we say grief counselor, that again, some of us may have had some endings, maybe with relationships or situations, job maybe, that have already taken place. Call upon Archangel Azrael to assist you as you move through those stages of grief or loss. That's part of Archangel Azrael's function. Archangel Azrael is also the archangel that helps people transition. And this can include our animal pets as well as people. She helps people to transition into, the next realm, or, back into the spiritual realm, back to source, basically, back to that other dimension. And so some of you may have or will be maybe experiencing some sort of loss of a loved one, or perhaps a, beloved pet. In some way this week or in the coming times, or again maybe it has been in the past weeks as well. So call upon Archangel Azrael to help with that as well. All right, and then for those of you that chose the pink calcite, let's ask for the message for pink calcite people. And I'm just looking for one to jump out, and this one's calling me. This is peace with Archangel Chamuel. So all of these special message cards kind of have an idea of needing to balance, breathe, brings you back into balance. Counseling others or being counseled helps to bring you back into balance. This here, Archangel Chamuel, the archangel of our life purpose, as well as the archangel that deals with soulmate relationships, but in this case, the message is peace. So he's here trying to bring you back into a state of balance or peace as well. The message at the bottom, peace comes from remembering that only love is real. So as I say that, again, it can be a wide variety of situations, but I do feel like some of you are going through some relationship situations. And Archangel Chamuel, again, through this message is reminding you that it's, we're from the state of love. We're a part of God energy. And part of that God energy, the God energy is unconditional love. It's unconditional love. And so if we're all a part of that God energy, and that means we're all a part of each other, and our souls are all interconnected. And so no matter what's happening in our relationships, and whether there's tension or conflict or challenge, or whether there's separation, that it all goes back to divine love or unconditional love. Okay, that's what is real, is focus on the love. Focus on, what brought you together in the first place, whether again it's family or a romantic, situation or friendship situation, that, conflict can be worked through, but it's the love inside our souls and the love that connects us with one another and that connects us to the God energy. That's what's real. So, again, ask Archangel Chamuel to assist you in coming back into a state of peace with the other people in your life, with perhaps a situation that is challenging, or within yourself if you're going through some emotional or mental turmoil. And just remember that you are that state of love. You are peace. You are balance. This is a mantra that sometimes I like to use when I feel emotionally unstable a little bit, is I am love, I am peace, I am balance. And so you can adopt that mantra for yourself as well. So I hope you've all liked this weekly angel card reading. Don't forget that this reading brings us into August, and so make sure that you also look for the August monthly angel card reading. That should be up as well, and if it's not up yet, then it will be up very shortly. And I send you all lots of love and light. I send you all many, many angel blessings.